so wonderful.
Are you in
When we never fold, yeah, it feels so wonderful. Don't you say your soul, and we will never fold. Keep on paving, God stay amazing, strong within it, any situation, with the divine, got a strong relation, study thyself, anticipation, we can be free, yeah, you and me.
Brothers and sisters, thank you, soldiers and soldierettes. We are alive and breathing. We are back to conquer another day. And I salute to those who stand strong and stand with it, and not getting caught up in the bull crap world, thus media, thus news. I'm talking about things that are insignificant, of course, and stand with things that are righteous. And I thank those that have been riding along with a brother, because there are many great brothers and sisters out here within our families and outside our families, amongst the toxic, things that try to throw us off out here. But those that have been studying this self-aware walk and been have been bedded, eat, sleep, and breathe good energy and righteous things of life, I salute you. We can never be taken off. We know what it is. So this is another edition of EBX Discussion. And I thank the current subscribers, new subscribers, anyone that has been listening. And if you got anything out of it, thank you, because that's the goal. That should be all of us students and teachers' goal. I just posted a video I made here on my channel. Of course, I posted it on Facebook yesterday. Hadn't been on Facebook for a while, but had some good friends that I have grew up with that contacted a brother, and so I thought I'd share a video, and contacted us. We've been talking through what do you call it, a family chat through Messenger, and it's kind of cool because we just seeing how each other's doing and checking on each other, and it's cool when you have friends that you have grew up with, that you have been knowing almost your whole life. And it's not even friends, it's really family. Friends is a thing of the past almost. Most people I've met, I consider them family. Even those that are not blood, I still consider them family. And that's either online or in the world. Those that meant something to me, and, that was a good chapter in one's life. Those that I grew up with, or those I might met in the world or online, that played a good part in a brother's growth and, just being in my life. I salute you, and that's brother or sister. Thank you, and I love you. I don't talk a lot, but I never forget those that meant something to me, whether in my family or outside my family. So that was just something that was in my spirit. And the reason why I brought that up, because the title of that video I posted was called "A Great Student Makes a Great Teacher," and that's on my channel also. And like I say, I just bring that up because never forget those that meant something to us, that were righteous and real, and I don't know, fake shit, so never forget those. Remember, that could be online or in the world, because we're all in different parts of the world, so sometimes it does be online. Just depends on, it always goes back to our environment and how we are as an individual, brother or sister, who we connect to. So even if we're not in their presence, we have our mindset right, our spirit, our body lined up with that great divine I always talk about. We'll just appreciate those and keep that appreciation spirit, and that great divine will do the same. So I give honor to our ancestors, the righteous ones that left a footprint and whose spirit is still alive and well, and many great brothers and sisters out here, and thankfully in our families, and some of our families, and not everybody sleep, Unfortunately, there's a lot that are, and it's more than just a fad or a saying. You got your eyes open and observe, we'll see. So I just want those that's been fighting and staying on this walk and standing firm, just going to add to that culture, as I heard a great brother say. And I want all of us melanated brothers and sisters that's soldiers right now. And anyone that's looking to be right and to be righteous. Remember, I always say, whether you're in a small space or a big space, I want you to rise above ignorance and remain intelligent. If you have stepped into an intelligent side of yourself, do things to maintain it. Study things to maintain it. Research. I don't care what it is, Anything that pertains to our psyche, mind, body, and soul, which is the psyche, is the center of everything. Think of ourselves as a computer, not a computer, but I'm using the computer as an example, like a computer, That's how you got to think of the psyche. It's the grand center of everything. It runs everything. Everything begins with a thought. Thank you, Malcolm X. And I'll just, like I say, we study, we observe, we learn things, brother or sister, young or old. And a lot of times we stop in our lives, and because this life can have us very busy, especially in our minds. And I wanted to break down, I want to have another meditative moment. Salute, soldiers and soldierettes that's been riding along with the brother. Thank you. And we're going to break down ignorance. And it's another word inside that definition we also going to break down. Because one likes to understand what he's saying, what he's talking about, and what one's teaching. So we get the real gist of things and just make us that much more stronger and that much more focused and put a little clarity on things. But before I get to that definition of ignorance, speaking of ignorance, which is unfortunate because I don't make fun of it, because I said on the podcast, it was a time in my life decades ago where I was ignorant, I just didn't know things, I wasn't aware, it is what it is, we have to be honest with ourselves like that. But so I don't make fun of that. It just depends on the individual, who it is, because some of us, now those who know they're ignorant and doing it on purpose and intentionally being ignorant and choose to do it, it's a difference between choosing to be ignorant or you're not aware. That's different. But for those who choose to be ignorant, I feel sorry for you, because you have an ignorant ass life. Ignorant is, ignorant does. Like monkey see, monkey do, So, but I'm saying that to say, when you have studied human behavior over time, especially ourselves, and you approach things different as we go up in levels and we move along in this life and we encounter, different individuals, whether it's brother or sister or just anybody in general. So I'm saying that to say, I always say I work a job. I work in a restaurant. I say chef, but it's, short order cook. I just like to say chef. And like I say, when you pay attention to thyself and human behavior of others, you will approach things in a different way. You will start to know why an individual acting the way they act, brother or sister. But let me get to the point. I was cooking yesterday. Like I say, I work a job. I'm a chef. And it was a young black sister. I don't know how to say black, but she was a young sister. And of course, you can tell she came in with an attitude. She had an attitude. And I just came from Denny's. And she really didn't explain how her order to the server. And it was, how some of our people, we can be, aggressive and don't even think people are doing things on purpose. And to me, that's a sign of ignorance, not being aware of oneself and not having consideration for the server or the cook. And you don't know if the person didn't hear you or if it was a miscommunication. But this is where intelligence come in. Now, she was a little irate, cussing, and I was like, okay, and she claimed her order was wrong, and she said this and that and the third, but I know that the server heard her right. But you can tell it was something else messing with her. She was already upset when she walked through the door. I detected it as soon as she walked in. So I was like, oh boy, here we go. Not judging, but assessing, something I've learned and also taught. So I said, I'm going to make this order, but I'm not going to make it again. And she come all hyped up. Oh, are you back there talking shit? And I said, look, all I said is I'm not going to remake this. So you better figure out how you want this order and how you want it done. So And what that was, and see, this is a lot of situations, especially here in Milltown and a lot of major cities. This is how things transpire and end up getting out of control. So I always keep things like that in mind too. And so I made her order, and I deflected all the negative things that she was giving off, the vibe she was giving off, and remade the order. I even took the food out there to her myself, and I even put on the song "Happy." You know the song. I don't like to say name. We all know who that song is by. So I put that song on because my day wasn't bad. I hadn't done nothing. Nothing happened to me. So I'm not gonna. So I'm saying that as an example. I'm not gonna take on how you feel, your anger. I'm not gonna take on your anger and I be angry. So I deflected it right back on her. And of course, she didn't say nothing else the whole time she was there. Ate the whole plate, cleaned it. Of course, didn't leave a tip, left mad. What are you mad at? Yourself? So, and that's a small thing, but these are the types of things that goes on with individuals that don't take time to study themselves and be self-aware. That's what it's like to not be self-aware. And I was like that at one time. Would just jump off an impulse, get angry, and have a temper, have a hot head. Now, we get up in levels and get a little more wise. We still be aggressive in some things, but we learn how to channel our anger. We know how to pay attention to what we think about what we want to say before we say it. And because when you're self-aware and you know yourself, little things won't trigger you. So that's why I kind of talked about, hope I explained it well, but that's why I talked about that whole example of that. And that is a part of being ignorant. Like I say, not making fun of some people who might be a little ignorant, because we've all come through that old conditioning I always talk about. And some are still stuck in it. And so that's why I say rise above ignorance, and remain intelligent. And you will pull through every time. And it always, you have to, ego plays a part. You have to keep your ego in check. Can't, just you have to pick your battles. You'll know what to respond to and what not to, and how to respond when we study, when we meditate, when we think about things before we say them. Because that's the one main thing I teach on this channel, is to watch our impulses. And it's a challenge for me too some days, and having a job, that's the best place to get tested on your impulses. Because impulses could be sexual. Impulses could be, like I just explained a little while ago, keeping oneself calm when another individual is angry or emotional about something, because you didn't do nothing to them, so why get angry with them? Figure it out. Deflect it. Make that individual feel bad. Not on purpose, but that maybe that person will learn. Maybe that sister learn in that moment that not everybody is going to react aggressively. And that's the point I'm getting at. And that's rising above ignorance and remaining intelligent, because you come through a winner, so to speak, every time when you remain intelligent, even if we do have to get a little aggressive, because we as melanated brothers and sisters, we are an emotional people, but we learn how to regulate that emotions. And I made a podcast, I think it was called Intelligence versus Emotion, because we do have emotions, we just learn to control them. So that I just hope you got something out of, why we should rise above ignorance. And I want to break down ignorance. And like I say, thank those that have been riding along with a brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate my family, teachers I have learned from in the world or online. So let's go. Another meditative moment. Ignorance. And this is actually, like I say, I'm not a Christian. I'm not into religion. But, as many others, we dissect and, really go into things, as I learned from a great teacher a long time ago. We look in things, and this goes for TV too, and movies and music, things like that. We look in it and not just at it. So, okay, another meditative moment. And this is, like I said, this this is actually a biblical sense. It's crazy. This Bible can be contradictory sometimes. That's why you really have to sift through it, and really find that truth in there. Okay, here we go. For ignorance is a privation, if I say that, I'm going to spell it. Privatation. For ignorance is a privation or privation. I got to work on that word, of the knowledge of knowledge that perfects reason, and reason prevents a sinful act insofar as it directs human acts. Note, however, that there are two sorts of knowledge in accord with which reason directs human acts: universal knowledge and particular knowledge. Okay, I'm going to read that again. For ignorance is a privation or privation of the knowledge that perfects reason, and reason prevents a sinful act insofar as it directs human acts. Note, however, that there are two sorts of knowledge in accord with which reason directs human acts, viz., universal knowledge and particular knowledge. Okay. Now we're going to go to privation. For ignorance is privation of the knowledge that perfects reason. We're going to stop right there. Provision or privation. A state in which things that are essential for human well-being, such as, and he got an example, such as food and warmth, stuff like that. Okay, a state in which things that are essential for human well-being, things that are essential. So what I get from that, I'm reading, I hope you can understand it, but what I'm getting from that, for ignorance is a privation of the knowledge that perfects reason. Yeah. So for those that want to live or try to go above the great divine, you are truly ignorant. And especially those, now that's being aware of ignorance. That's the difference right there. Because I said this on the podcast, you can't run from yourself. I don't care what you portray out to the world, and you can do what you want to do, and God can't tell me what. God already telling you what to do. You just not listening. This, and you think about it, I wonder if we didn't take away social media and we didn't have Instagram and all these things, would these unnatural acts still be happening if we didn't see it as much? Because I think it was already bad, some of the things you see on TV and stuff, but I think social media amplified it. And because it's when it's right in your face, right at your fingertips, it's more instant. So I think social media, like I say, don't take the power of this social media for granted. So, and I think it does amplify the unnatural acts of a human being, brother or sister. So, and I hope you got something out of that definition. I tried to break it down. I'm going to try to keep breaking it down a little bit. But when you don't know that you're ignorant, and no, I'll take that back. When you don't know you're ignorant, and you're seeking righteousness, and as I heard a brother say, you're feeling around in the dark, but you're trying, you want to do the right thing. That's the difference. But when you don't care about being ignorant and you're affecting others, that's when it's a problem. Especially when there's children involved. And I'm talking about altering your character, altering thyself, your physical self. And there's actually people that have, let's say, died, transitioned, because they thought they could do what they want to do. So, cause and effect, toxic individuals that bask in ignorance. Because if you, like I said, if you think you're above the great divine, if you think We all, those that are divine, reaching and teaching, they say we have a God self. We have a God within. You know, that's different than somebody thinking they're God, thinking they can change the world basically and try to make it bend to their will. It's like how you say we got free will, but what is it? Only certain individuals have free will. What is that? So and when you become deeply self-aware, logical, when you're connected to that divine spirit, you'll always arise. You'll always rise above ignorance. It'll become a part of you. Intelligence, it'll just be what you do. Intelligence wakes you up early in the morning and wants to think good thoughts throughout the day and want to see those grow and see the real meaning of life and see humanity for what it's supposed to be and not what entities want to make it to be. And things are becoming more dynamic, more challenging, but that just make those that are righteous and those of a chosen divine spirit, that just make us more powerful. We always will find a way. And those that want to be ignorant, toxic, evil, high places, politics, music, celebs, I feel sorry for you. Keep living in your ignorance. Keep going against Mother Nature and see what happens. Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I love saying this. Great Divine laughs at those that try to come up against thy. How dare you go against those or go against that creation that made you out to be in the image of that higher force. Want us to be. We haven't even scratched the surface on how powerful we can be. Well, some of us know we can reach that. Those that are reaching and teaching and are very powerful within. We know. We know how power. We know that higher power. We know what it is. So those. Now, I'm going to set aside the righteous brothers and sisters, and I'm talking about y'all. Now, for those that want to remain ignorant, and those that know they're ignorant, those that maybe even like being ignorant, have fun in your own hell, because it's coming. And like I said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Cause and effect can't override law of attraction, and you can't run away from karma either. So, we see you. Those of us that are rooted spiritually can never be broken. We'll always find a way, because when you do righteous in the present, it always and forever benefits you in the future. And that's mind, body, and soul. Because when you're righteous within, everything on the outside will be a breeze. So that was my thought. I just want my brothers and sisters out there, rise above ignorance. Don't let none of this stupid, dumb, toxic, ignorant shit bring us down. Remain intelligent. That's my thought. That was just something that was in my spirit, and hope I didn't fumble over the definitions of those two words. Was it privation and ignorance? Privation, that's a word I've never even used. That's why it's good to research. You just come across stuff you don't normally have, and now you got something new you can work on. And that's how it is. When you're righteously, spiritually, you see things. We're not living a superficial, insignificant life. We want to live a full life and share it to our loved ones. That's the most beautiful thing in the world. Got to protect us. We got to anticipate what's coming down the road. So that's my thought. And I thank those that came in to another edition of EBX Discussion. Salute, soldiers, soldierettes. Great Divine has a plan for you. And I salute the real, like-minded reachers and teachers that's out there putting that work in, doing what they have to do, even outside the camera. Salute, I thank you. And I honor your family. I honor my family. I honor my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters. Keep that, remain and keep that ultimate peace in your part of the world. In your part of the world, wherever you are right now. Salute.
It feels so wonderful when we never fall. Yeah, it feels so wonderful. I use my heart straight from the start. Don't care about the money or being no star. In this life, gotta know who we are. Stay planted on this ground, making it sound. Make us show man that I'm around. Used to be lost, now I'm here, soulless bound. Feels so wonderful when we don't sell our soul. Yeah, and never ever ever fold. Yeah. It feels so wonderful.
Are you in?